Sergeant Chris Kelley. Chris was a gift to the city of Hutto. He had a way of connecting with everyone he came in contact with. All of us co-workers will tell you he was a great cop and supervisor with a wicked sense of humor. As people and colleagues have talked about Sergeant Kelley, each and every story has had the same underlying theme. Chris could instantly connect with whom he was helping, and he put his heart and soul into each case he investigated, every crime victim he helped, and every citizen he served. Every time he was called to duty, he answered the call. Unlike a lot of cities, the Hutto Police Department is located in City Hall. This leads to a lot of opportunities for us to interact with each other more often than most cities would. When Chris came to work and left work, he used the door that required him to pass by my office. Most days, he would greet me by nodding and saying, "Ma'am," and I would return and nod and say, "Sir," and that was our routine. But every now and then, I'd let him take another step, and then I'd say, "Chris," and he'd stop, turn around with this look of absolute panic in his eyes. At first, I thought he was just scared to talk to the city manager, but I soon learned it was because he thought he was about to get in trouble for something. And let me tell you, there were a lot of things that he would have gotten most people in trouble for, but somehow he always skated by. Chris was always there for us. For example, one of our coworkers' sons had gotten in trouble in school, and she had to go get him and bring him back to the office. Chris, being the ever-helpful soul that he was walking down the hall and asked the son what he was doing at his mom's work. The suspended kindergartner reported that one of the boys in his class had made a face at him, and so he kicked him in the shin. At this point, most of you probably think that the police officer talking to this 5-year-old would tell him, "It's not nice to kick people." But you have to remember that this police officer was Chris Kelley. And his response was, "Good, that's what I would have done." That, my friends, is how Sergeant Kelley approached the world. Chris's service to the city set the bar for others. Part of our mission is to passionately serve. When I came to Hutto, Sergeant Kelley was on the night shift supervisors. One night, Chris and his team were making an arrest. The young man had pulled over at the house where he lived with his parents. Prior to getting out of the car, he tried to contact his mother by text to let her know what was happening. Unfortunately, the mom didn't get the text for 30 minutes, most likely because it was 2 a.m. When she saw the text and realized what was happening outside her front door, she went out to find squad cars, lights, and the general commotion that happens when there are 3 police cars in front of your house. She found that her son was under arrest. What makes this situation different, and what shows a lot about Sergeant Kelley's character, was the fact she was deaf and was having trouble communicating and understanding the situation. Without her son to sign what was happening, she feared that once her son was arrested, she would have a difficult time to make contact with him again. Sergeant Kelley slowed the whole process. He wrote down everything for her to make sure she understood, and then he brought her son back so that they could communicate. You see, Sergeant Kelley's heart always brought the right amount of compassion to a job where you oftentimes only see the worst of human nature. His approach to the world, to his work, and to his life was always with a wonderful dedication, a loyalty to whom he was serving, and most of all, with a sense of humor that will be very hard to replace. We won't get to see that gleam of mischief in his eye, see that perfect posture walk down the hall, or listen to that rapid-fire quick wit anymore. I, along with the city of Hutto, the city employees, and the Hutto community, will truly miss Chris Kelley. Michelle, Barbara, and Jack, and his brothers and sisters in blue, thanks for sharing Chris with us. We're all better for it.